Why being crazy about money might actually make you rich, the shocking truth from Chapter 1 of The Psychology of Money. Have you ever wondered why some people with average jobs become millionaires while others with high-paying careers struggle financially? Or why your friend who barely passed math class seems to make better investment decisions than your genius neighbor with an economics degree? The answer might surprise you. It has nothing to do with intelligence, education, or even income. According to Morgan Housel's groundbreaking book, The Psychology of Money, Chapter 1 reveals a truth that Wall Street doesn't want you to know. Money success isn't about what you know, it's about how you behave. This revolutionary first chapter, titled No One's Crazy, turns everything we think we know about wealth on its head. Instead of focusing on complex formulas, investment strategies, or economic theories, Housel argues that understanding human psychology is the key to financial success. He shows us that what looks like crazy financial behavior from the outside actually makes perfect sense when you understand someone's unique background and experiences. This isn't just another boring finance lesson, it's a deep dive into why we make the money decisions we do, and how those decisions shape our entire lives. Get ready to discover why your financial mistakes might not be mistakes at all, and how understanding this can change your relationship with money forever. The Great Money Mystery: Why Smart People Make Dumb Financial Decisions. Think about the smartest person you know. Maybe it's your college professor, your doctor, or that friend who always wins at trivia night. Now, have you ever seen them make what seemed like a completely ridiculous financial decision? Perhaps they refused to invest in the stock market during a bull run, or maybe they bought an expensive car they couldn't really afford. Your first thought might be, how could someone so smart be so stupid with money? Here's where Chapter 1 of The Psychology of Money drops its first bombshell: these people aren't being stupid at all. Housel explains that intelligence has very little to do with financial success. Unlike subjects like math or science, where there are clear right and wrong answers, personal finance is deeply personal. What makes sense for one person might be completely wrong for another, even if they have similar incomes or education levels. The author uses a powerful example to illustrate this point. Imagine two people, one who grew up during the Great Depression and another who came of age during the booming 1990s. The Depression-era person might keep most of their money in savings accounts, even if the interest rates are low. The 1990s person might be more willing to invest aggressively in stocks. Neither approach is inherently right or wrong, they're both products of their unique experiences and the lessons life taught them about money. This revelation is huge because it means we need to stop judging other people's financial decisions through our own lens. More importantly, we need to understand that our own money beliefs might be limiting us in ways we never realized. The chapter challenges us to ask, what experiences shaped my relationship with money, and are those experiences still serving me today? Your money story: how your past controls your financial future. Every person has a unique money story, a collection of experiences, lessons, and observations that shape how they think about wealth, spending, saving, and investing. Chapter 1 reveals that these stories are incredibly powerful forces in our financial lives, often more influential than any advice from experts or data from research studies. Housel explains that your money story begins forming almost from birth. Did your parents argue about money? Did your family lose their home during a recession? Did you watch your grandparents live comfortably because they saved every penny? These early experiences create deep emotional connections to money that can last a lifetime. They become the invisible rules that guide your financial decisions, even when you're not consciously aware of them. Consider this eye-opening example from the chapter. People who experienced high inflation during their formative years are more likely to avoid bonds throughout their lives, even when bonds might be a smart investment choice. Why? Because they learned that inflation can destroy the value of fixed-income investments. On the flip side, people who lived through stock market crashes might avoid equities forever, missing out on long-term growth opportunities. These aren't wrong decisions, they're logical responses based on personal experience. The chapter emphasizes that understanding your own money story is crucial for financial success. Ask yourself, what did you learn about money growing up? Did your family view wealthy people as lucky, smart, or evil? Did they believe that money was scarce or abundant? Did they think investing was gambling or a path to security? Your answers to these questions reveal the hidden beliefs that might be sabotaging your financial goals or helping you achieve them. The economics classroom versus the real world: why textbook knowledge fails. One of the most striking insights from Chapter 1 is the massive gap between how economics is taught in schools and how money actually works in real life. Housel points out that traditional economics assumes people are rational actors who always make logical decisions based on available information. But anyone who's ever made an impulse purchase, held onto a losing stock too long, or avoided investing because it felt too risky knows that real people don't behave like economics textbooks suggest they should. The chapter explains that economics is often taught like physics or chemistry, subjects with universal laws that apply regardless of who's involved. But money is different because it's deeply intertwined with human emotions, experiences, and psychology. You can't understand financial behavior without understanding the person making the financial decisions. This is why two people can look at the exact same investment opportunity and come to completely different conclusions, even when presented with identical information. Housel shares a fascinating example about how people from different generations view risk differently. Someone who started investing in the 1950s experienced decades of steady market growth with relatively minor setbacks. Their definition of normal market behavior is very different from someone who started investing in 2000 and experienced two major market crashes in their first decade. Both groups have valid perspectives based on their experiences, but their investment strategies will likely be vastly different. This insight has practical implications for anyone trying to improve their financial situation. Instead of looking for one-size-fits-all advice, we need to understand that the best financial strategy for you depends on your unique circumstances, experiences, and psychology. What works for your neighbor, your boss, or even your financial advisor might not work for you, and that's perfectly okay. The power of perspective: why your wrong decisions might be right. Perhaps the most liberating message from Chapter 1 is that many of our financial decisions that seem wrong from the outside are actually perfectly reasonable when viewed through the lens of our personal experiences and circumstances. Housel argues that we're too quick to judge both ourselves and others for financial choices that don't align with conventional wisdom or expert recommendations. The chapter introduces the concept that financial decisions are rarely about money alone, they're about how money makes us feel. Someone might choose to keep money in a low-interest savings account instead of investing it in the stock market, not because they don't understand the potential for higher returns, but because having that cash cushion helps them sleep better at night. From a purely mathematical standpoint, this might not be optimal, but from a psychological standpoint, it could be exactly the right choice for that person. Housel emphasizes that peace of mind has real value, even if it can't be quantified in a spreadsheet. He argues that a financial strategy that causes constant stress and anxiety isn't sustainable, regardless of how good it looks on paper. The best financial plan is the one you can actually stick with over the long term, which means it needs to align with your personality, risk tolerance, and life circumstances. This perspective shift is revolutionary because it removes the shame and judgment that often surround financial decisions. Instead of beating yourself up for not being more aggressive with investments, or for spending money on something that brings you joy, you can recognize that these choices might be perfectly rational given your unique situation. The goal isn't to make the perfect financial decisions according to some external standard, it's to make decisions that work for your life and goals. Breaking free: how understanding psychology can transform your financial life. The insights from Chapter 1 don't just help us understand why we make certain financial decisions, they also provide a roadmap for making better ones. Once you recognize that your money story has been unconsciously driving your financial behavior, you can start to evaluate whether those old patterns are still serving you or holding you back. Housel suggests that the first step is becoming aware of your own biases and assumptions about money. This isn't about judging yourself harshly, but about honest self-reflection. What financial fears do you carry from your past? What money beliefs did you inherit from your family or culture? Are there investment opportunities you've avoided because of experiences that may no longer be relevant to your current situation? The chapter also emphasizes the importance of recognizing that your financial journey will be unique to you. This means you can stop trying to copy someone else's strategy and start building an approach that fits your personality, goals, and circumstances. Maybe you're naturally conservative and need a more cautious investment approach. Maybe you're comfortable with higher risk because you have stable income and a long time horizon. Neither approach is right or wrong, they're just different. Understanding the psychology of money also helps you become more patient with yourself as you work toward financial goals. Instead of expecting yourself to make perfect decisions all the time, you can recognize that everyone's learning and growing when it comes to money. The wealthy person you admire probably made plenty of mistakes along the way, they just learned from them and kept moving forward. Your financial journey starts with understanding yourself. Chapter 1 of The Psychology of Money fundamentally changes how we think about wealth, success, and financial decision-making. By revealing that money management is more about psychology than mathematics, Housel gives us permission to stop trying to be perfect and start being human. The most important lesson from this chapter isn't about specific investment strategies or financial products, it's about the critical importance of self-awareness in building wealth. The chapter's core message is both simple and profound: no one is crazy when it comes to money. Every financial decision makes sense when you understand the person making it and the experiences that shaped their money story. This insight should make us more compassionate toward others' financial choices and more thoughtful about our own. Instead of judging the person who won't invest in stocks or the one who spends too much on coffee, we can recognize that these behaviors stem from deeper beliefs and experiences. Moving forward, use the insights from this chapter to examine your own relationship with money. What stories are you telling yourself about wealth, risk, and financial success? Are these stories based on current reality or past experiences that may no longer apply? Most importantly, are your current financial behaviors moving you toward your goals or keeping you stuck in old patterns? Remember, the path to financial success isn't about becoming someone else or following someone else's exact blueprint. It's about understanding yourself deeply enough to make money decisions that align with who you are and what you truly want. Start there, and you'll be amazed at how much your financial life can improve when psychology and strategy work together instead of against each other. If you like this content, please subscribe to our channel for more upcoming chapters of the book. Thank you.